All right, welcome back to Second Chance MTG. This is going to be our feature match. Mike has been undefeated with his red-green Ponza, and now Alex gets a second chance to redeem himself. So, yeah, good luck, and let's begin.
Well, we didn't do too well in the last showing.
I think you're going to win.
Oh, well, we're going to go in the die roll, so that's nice. We didn't do too well in the last showing. I mean, we put up a good fight. We somehow won the first game, which was typically not a game we would win. And unsurprisingly lost the sideboarder games. But again, it's our chance at redemption. Playing a similar deck and a similarly bad matchup. So we will hope for the best. Good luck, sir.
Good luck.
I will be on the play, in case I didn't already state that. 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, this hand is very problematic. We only have one of these. We have no way to make this filter our draw. And depending on what our opponent's playing, well, assuming we don't know, this hand could either be really good or really bad. I think it is too clunky, so we're going to end up going to 6.
I will keep this even. We have way too much. We have no acceleration really and no interaction. But I'm familiar with Ponza. It will punish you if you do not take the lands it gives you.
Alright, so we're going to be on 6. Hopefully we can find something a little more smooth. 4, 5, 6. This hand is not very good. Now, if we're able to draw multiples of these, this hand could be functional. But unfortunately, we have to draw a second one for this hand even to get off the ground. Being on the play is a lot harder with a hand like this, so I think we actually just need to mulligan again. Okay. Alright, see if we can get on 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 is very good. It's not ideal, but it's very functional, and we have a curve, and hopefully our top of the deck will be good. We'll go ahead and scry. I think this card is going to be good based on our curve, so we're going to keep it on top. We'll play this first in case something happens where we want to change our mind and get rid of that card. Go ahead.
Wooded Foothills will crack for life.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get a forest.
Mm-hmm.
Go down to 19.
Mm-hmm.
Tap for a green. We'll Arbor Elf.
Okay.
We'll pass.
So we're kind of punished for the land we played here because we don't necessarily want to crack it. We want to draw the card on top of our deck. So I think what we're going to do is just not play this on the second turn of the game and attempt to make this card hopefully recoup some of the mulligans that we've had this game. So we'll go ahead and draw. I will crack the Marsh Lights, going to 19. We're going to grab a swamp.
A swamp.
Mm-hmm. We want to be professional in this game, so we're not going to call it a swamp. Alright, we're going to go ahead and Fatal Push the Arbor Elf, because that is a very problematic card for our deck. I'll play this tapped and pass the turn to you.
Untap, upkeep, draw. We'll lay a forest down and we'll pass.
Alright, so no acceleration is good for us here. We'll go ahead and draw. This card is actually a very good draw, surprisingly, because we can do this. And that is a very good interaction in our deck. We will go ahead and attempt to cast Liliana the Veil.
You have it.
Alright, we will plus it to 4, making us both discard.
We will discard the Obstinate Bailout, putting it into play.
Well, that is the worst possible case scenario for us. He gains 4 life. And that is, again, it's not a card that we would play around in this scenario. We will pass the turn.
So I go to 23. Untap, upkeep, draw.
Well, that makes our mulligan look really bad.
We will... we'll start with the biggest threat. We'll move to combat. We'll put 4 at Liliana. We'll get rid of that.
Liliana's going to die.
We'll crack the Wooded Foothills. We'll go down to 22, I believe.
Looks like it. You fetch twice. Well, this is looking really bad on our mulligan. He has the 2-for-1 card in his hand in game 1. That is not a card.
We will take 2. We'll pay for the stomping ground. We'll go to 21. And I will wish this card was something else other than it is, but it's still playable. Red, 2 green. We will Stone Rain. What's our biggest threat?
Luckily, our mana is pretty redundant here, so
Probably the Twilight Mire. We'll try and slow him down slightly, and we'll pass turn after that.
all right. Well, we'll draw. Well, that was actually not a bad draw because it allows us to get Hellbent, which is what our deck kind of wants to do, and again, just keep making our land drops. We will pass the turn to you.
All right. What is Tarmogoyf at this time?
The Tarmogoyf, I believe, is a 5/6 because there are 5 different types in the graveyard.
We have the possibility for a miracle. I have to think about this.
All right. So he's revealing for a miracle. You may choose whether or not to pay the cost or not. And make sure that is how that works. Yep, you may cast it. Okay, so yes, that trigger is on the stack. He may choose whether or not he wants to cast it.
I think I will not cast it.
Okay.
Even though the Tarmogoyf is on the field, we have to Windswept Heath. We'll crack go to 20 even.
Mm-hmm. So our best chance is to hope that his hand is full of things that do not interact very properly with Tarmogoyf. And again, hope that the top of our deck is kind to us because we are down a lot of resources in this game.
I got 19 all.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. At this point, I will put 4 green in
Mm-hmm.
my pool. We will Monwoolly Acid Moss.
Okay.
We will cut him off of his white, I believe.
Okay.
That is white, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll cut him off of his white.
Okay.
If I could cut him off of his green or his black, I would do that, but we at least have to reduce his options.
All right. Well, that is another problematic card because potentially he can cast a Titan next turn or a Stormbright Dragon, which are both problematic cards at this stage of the game. The Titan in particular, I think, is very hard for us to beat. So we need to hope that that is not in his hand, and again, hopefully our Tarmogoyf can carry us.
We are going to pass at this point.
All right, I will draw. Okay. At this point, we will move to combat.
Move to combat.
Attack for 5.
I will take it at this point. So I will be at 14.
Okay. So you're at 14. I will go ahead and flashback Lingering Souls in my graveyard. Get 2 spirits. All right. Let's see. We'll get those 2 guys out there, and I will go ahead and play Verdant Catacombs and pass the turn.
Untap. Upkeep draw. We'll have to hope that my deck has a relevant answer. That is not a relevant answer, but it is a card. And for turn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Well, the fact that he's thinking here makes me think he doesn't have anything too good to play here, which is hopeful for us.
I wish that I had 1 more mana, or that it did not come untapped.
Again, Tarmogoyf is a very powerful card against the Ponza deck. It is a way for me to pressure his life total very quickly. And in most of these games, they do not play too much interaction for them in order to kill or shrink the Tarmogoyf. So it is a very good card to have in this spot with very low resources.
So at this point, I have a choice. I can either Bonfire the Damned and take care of his Lingering Souls, opening up a path for his smacking, or I can do this and reduce him off of his resources a bit more. Well, since the Baloth has will eventually take care of the Lingering Souls, I think I will go ahead and we will keep him off his mana, since that's what Ponza is designed to do. We will Acid Moss the black and green.
Okay.
We will get our fetch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a risk because even though I'm keeping him off his mana, he's got more than enough to cause me problems.
Yeah, we've been lucky to draw extra lands in this game because the games like this are very problematic when you keep low land hands and they start stone raining and acid mossing your lands very early on in the game. So again, we have been lucky to have drawn a lot of lands so we can cast our spells.
I do still have this, so we still do have an option. Move to combat.
Yes.
And you're going to jump block, I would imagine.
He's attacking me?
Yes,
He's
he
turning
is.
sideways? Or? I will, at this point, it's not really worth blocking. Though he has Bonfire of the Damned, we'd rather him just play the card. And right now we're running the race, so there's just no reason to block. So we will take 4. And go to, I believe, 15.
I believe I'm at 14.
I believe you're at, yes, 14.
And I will pass turn.
All right, we're not going to crack this for any catacombs, though it could cost us life in the future because we want to keep as much colors open as possible for the cards we draw. Draw for turn. Okay. Well, that draw step isn't too bad. We'll go ahead and attack him for 7.
I will take 7.
All right. We're just going to play the Godless Shrine tapped and pass the turn.
That puts me to
I believe 7.
7?
Yes.
I'm at 7. Untap. Now at this point I'm starting to feel the pressure, so I need to draw some sort of answer. Otherwise things are not going to go well for me, even though I do have these 2 cards. Untap, upkeep, draw. That is actually a very good card.
That's not good for us.
That is actually a very good card. So the choice is, do I do this first or this first? I think this is a better option just because it gives us a little more breathing room since he's already not in a good spot, in my opinion. So we will put 5 into my pool, 5 green. We will Primal Command.
Okay.
We will choose modes. Target player gains 7 life, which will put me at 14. Second mode will be I will search for a creature card.
Sure. Well, that's unfortunate because it essentially fogs us and allows him to grab a powerful threat out of his deck.
Which will be the Inferno Titan, and I will... Actually, there's a choice between Inferno Titan and Storm Breath that Ponza both uses. I will use this Inferno Titan because at least it will give me value against the Spirit, even if he does happen to have a path. If he does path it, I will be sad and wishing that I had done a Storm Breath instead. And since I would not be blocking a Tarmogoyf, I will go ahead and attack with the Obstinate Baloth.
I will go down to 10.
And I will pass turn.
All right. At this point, things are looking a little grim. I don't think we want to draw any more lands, and I think we can cast anything as long as we fetch the correct land with this. So I think we're fine cracking this, not going to 9. At this point, there's no point playing around a Blood Moon. We're already so low on resources. We just need to make sure that everything is castable. Though at the same time, I guess we don't want him to take us off white. So I think at this point we probably just grab a Temple Garden to, again, he makes sure we can guarantee our white and guarantee our black as we drop a bunch of my deck on the ground. Again, just want to try to keep our mana open as much as possible and try to find a relevant card for the situation, because again he's going to play the Titan next turn and that's going to be hard to beat. Alright.
I will have to hope that you draw a land, because I think at this point that will be my best card you can draw.
I will draw. Okay, we will go ahead and go to combat and attack for a 7 once again.
And putting me back down to 7.
We will go ahead and play a land and pass the turn.
That actually works out very well for me. I am very happy you drew a land instead. Now at this point I don't care if he has land. I've already held him long enough down. And these are relevant. Untap, upkeep, draw. That's better. We forgot to tap at the end of turn. That's probably a mistake on my part. So we have 8 possible in my pool. Tarmogoyf is how much?
5/6.
Alright, the safer way to do it, I would love to do these 2 cards, especially in the fact that I'm only at 7 life. I am worried about a path. I think that's probably the better way to go. Just to play it on the safe side, because if we do this, play the Inferno, and he's got an answer for it, then Tarmogoyf will make me a sad panda. So let's go ahead. We will put 4 into the pool. We will cast the Baloth, gaining 4 life. That puts me up to 11, gives me a little bit more breathing room that I prefer. We will cast 1 red, put 2 into it, or excuse me, 2 into it, so it's 1 total. We will Bonfire for 1, clearing the board of the spirits.
Try not to take 1. We've got 8.
Not the best use. I would almost rather prefer to get more mana and do more damage. If this has Summoning Sickness, we will move to combat and swing with the Baloth.
I will go to 4.
and we will then pass turn.
All right, we're in a real bad spot here. He's gained a lot of life and whittled down our resources a lot. And this draw step does not help. I do not know what we can do to win this game. I'm just going to pass the turn.
That is good news for me. That makes me feel like I am going to win this on this next turn. Untap, upkeep, draw, because no matter what, depending what he's got in hand, I'll at least get in for 4. We'll draw. That is not the best thing. So we will just try and swing for lethal. We will be at 5. We will do 6. We will Inferno Titan.
I had to tap another red, I believe.
My apologies.
That's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 red. You are correct, sir.
Okay.
So, Inferno Titan hits the field. I will do a 3 damage to him, putting him at 1.
I'll be at guess that one.
At this point, I feel confident attacking with both of my Balos and awaiting his response.
All right, I will lose the game.
All right.
Right. Drew a couple too many lands there. I needed a piece of interaction at some point.